What's going on YouTube? JT's Reborn here, and welcome back to another edition of my DC comic book reviews. And in this video, we're going to be talking about Absolute Batman issue number 3. This one is written by Scott Snyder, artist by Nick Dragotta, and this is part 3 of the Zoo arc. And I've really been enjoying Absolute Batman. Sorry I missed this one from last week. I didn't realize until today. I'm like, wait a minute, when does the next Absolute Batman came out? And I just kind of missed it from last week. Sometimes it's hard to kind of keep track of when DC releases stuff. They used to do stuff where they kind of advertise, hey, this is what we got this week. You kind of have to just check on their website periodically and just be like, I guess this is when the new stuff releases. It's kind of hard, and they don't really make it easy for people to kind of keep track of different things. And I feel like that's kind of a problem with the way they handle things. But enough about that. That's a complaint for another day. Hopefully next year they fix it. But anyway, so this is the Absolute Batman series. I've really been enjoying Absolute Batman way more than I ever anticipated I would. So whenever a new issue comes out, I'm kind of hooked and intrigued to see what direction they're going with. At the end of the last issue, of course, Batman came out in his damn tank, basically his bat tank, which is so excessive. But then again, that's kind of the appeal of this thing. Everything is so overly excessive in terms of size, strength, and just violence and everything, and that's kind of what makes it fun. Alfred's in there. At first he's just I hate Batman, and then later on, after he's kind of transforms and all that, okay, maybe I love Batman a bit too. So he kind of makes a deal with, or tries to kind of convince Batman to basically kind of take Black Mask's offer for a bunch of money, and eventually his organization will kind of bring him down. But all that money and resources could really benefit him in the long run. And so there's got stuff like that too. There's a funny bit as well with, Batman launching Alfred out into into the water and all that to kind of escape. So I thought that was kind of a funny little injector season. So there is some humor kind of mixed into this stuff. We also get flashbacks to a young Bruce with a young Selina Kyle. They go to see Zorro. And one thing that's interesting about this take on Batman is all the rogues galleries are basically just some of his closest friends as a kid. So inevitably, when they probably will turn into their kind of villainous counterparts, this could be a little bit more tragic because they were all so closely linked to Bruce as a kid. And I'm sure at some point it's going to happen. But yeah, so we got that stuff going on, some mystery and intrigue. We also get to see Black Mask, who keeps a helmet on his head. He also likes to wrestle almost naked in a Speedo. To fight different people. He even faces off against Bibbo, who's a character in DC Comics as well. And we get to showcase that he is strong, he is kind of ruthless, and he's I'm a professional pacifist. And we got the stuff with the whole Arkham plan that's going on there. They're going to try and build some sort of place there. Bruce also has to kind of think about the offer too. We also see Martha Wayne is going to try and kind of take up a position more within Jim Gordon's cabinet as well, despite being a target from the killers and all that going on in the city. And of course we also see a little bit of Alfred kind of following along with Julia Pennyworth, who is his daughter in the comics, kind of keeping an eye on her from the side, but also kind of trying to stay out of her life. Bruce also wants his mom to lay low for a while because of all the terrible things going on within the city. And this is a very dangerous city. This is a really kind of dark, bleak world, and there's so much excessive violence and everything, but it's the absolute universe. That's what you kind of have to expect with that too. And then basically at the end of the issue, he's kind of communicating with Black Mask, and he kind of agrees, okay, I'll take the deal, which leaves us in a bit of an interesting hook for where the next issue could go. So artwork is pretty solid overall. The storyline has been interesting for the most part, and what I kind of like about it is kind of the ending, because usually Batman's you know what, you can kiss my ass with your deal, but this is a different take on Batman. So now I was okay, I'll take the deal. So what is it going to lead to the longer? Is he just going to take the money and then probably just back out on it at the last second, be okay, thanks for the money, but I'm still bringing you in and all that too. So who knows exactly what he's going to do with it, because we're used to seeing Batman with a ton of money, and now he's kind of coming from a different perspective with this take on Bruce Wayne and having the rogues, his typical rogues gallery, as some of his closest friends. And there's some mystery in there. And then there you got Alfred, who's the MI6 agent, older and kind of doing combative stuff as well. And yeah, we'll see exactly what happens. I'm curious to see what other villains will kind of look like in this role. What do the Al Ghuls look like? Or what about Mr. Freeze? Or, some of these other characters in this. So I'm like I said, I'm intrigued to see which direction they could go in. But still, Absolute Batman's been a lot of fun. Not my favorite of the 3 issues so far. I think the first issue still is the one, because the first time we're good God, this is way more excessive in a lot of ways than I expected it to be. But this one had a little bit more humor, I think, than the first 2 issues. And we also got to see a little bit more of Black Mask and kind of what he looks like, but he still keeps his helmet on at all times. Maybe there is some sort of mystery with that too. like he really isn't Roman Sionis. Maybe it's like an Arkham Origins thing where we think it's him, but it's really just kind of the Joker in disguise or something. I don't know. It could potentially go in that direction. I don't exactly know. But I've still enjoyed Absolute Batman for the most part, and I'm looking forward to see what issue 4 brings with it. So what did you think of it? Post your comments down below. Be sure to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the YouTube channel for more content. Hit that bell for notifications. I think I got one more comic book, and then that'll be the last one for 2024. So look forward to all that stuff. All right, well, that's all I have to say. As always, take care now. Bye-bye then, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace out.